darkest region of material existence. Bhagavatam is meant for conquering darkness of ignorance. By the light of Bhagavatam, we can understand the absolute truth as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan completely. And in the next verse we recited, Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu. All that is troublesome to the heart, abhadreshu, that is almost destroyed to nil simply by regularly attending classes on Bhagavatam, or regularly reading Bhagavatam, or regularly hearing Bhagavatam, and regularly rendering service to the pure devotee Bhagavata. Both the meanings are there. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke. And gradually, as the heart becomes cleansed, this devotional service becomes irrevocably established in the heart. Irrevocably means you don't go back, you don't fall down. From stage of Kanishta, you come to the stage of Nishta. Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Bhakti becomes firmly established in your heart. You will not be wavering. We go through this Kanishta stage, neophyte stage, where sometimes we feel like doing devotional service, sometimes we don't feel like it. Sometimes our mind is very nicely situated for doing bhakti, sometimes the mind is very disturbed or agitated. Sometimes we have a lot of enthusiasm, sometimes we lack enthusiasm. So all these vagaries of devotional service will completely be terminated if we regularly hear Bhagavatam and become fixed up. And then no more wavering. Steady devotional service will be able to do. Steady devotional service. And steady devotional service means very quickly you make progress to get taste. After Nishta comes Ruchi, then Asakti, attachment for Krishna. And then Bhava and Prema. Then you can get experience of ecstasy and love of God. So to progress rapidly, we have to become fixed up. Otherwise our progress is very slow. Even in the Kanishta stage, there is progress. But it is very, very little. It is so little that sometimes we have a doubt whether I am making progress. So if you want to experience that I am making good progress, you have to become fixed up. You have to become steady in your devotional service. Even the pure devotees, acharyas, they also teach how we should come to the stage of becoming steady. Srila Prabhupada, when he was traveling, wherever he was, middle of the night he will get up and he will translate and write books. He would have traveled transcontinental flight, let's say from India to America. Almost one has to travel 20 hours, 22 hours. But on reaching some temple in America, it will be as if he has been staying there only. Even if he reaches late in the night, little rest he will take and immediately get up. Others will have to experience what is called a jet lag. The biological clock inside the body will not adjust immediately on traveling by these jet planes. Formerly, they used to go by walk. The advantage of walking is your body gradually gets adapted to the changing climate, changing clock. Body will get adapted as you keep walking. Very easily, naturally it happens. But this jet plane, we travel some 10,000 miles in 20 hours. Very, very fast. But then the body cannot adjust. 20 hours, that change in timing and the biological clock, what is day and what is night. Because inside this body, certain functions are carried out by the different glands according to the day and night consideration. In Ayurveda, it is said that the liver has 500 functions. And 250 functions, about 250 functions are done in the daytime and 250 functions in the night time. So all this gets upset generally for a person. But pure devotee, because he is above the modes, even though his body appears like it is behaving according to the influence of the material nature, like his body ages. But as far as his seva to Krishna is concerned, that is uninterrupted and unaffected by all these material conditions. That's not because of some biological immunity. No. It is because of his Krishna consciousness, pure consciousness, that he will not mind even if he has to undergo some difficulty in doing the seva. In any condition of health, any condition of the body, in any climatic conditions, in any place, he is always engaged in pure devotional service. Of course, we cannot imitate, but at least we should follow the principles to come to the steady state. At least we should not be dependent on the mind. When our body becomes sick, we may not be able to do normal service. That's okay. But the mind should not be a disturbance for our regular service. You sometimes hear, no, these karmis say, "Aaj mood nahi hai. Today I don't feel like doing something." So they are dependent on the mind also, apart from the body being in proper condition. But we should not be doing seva according to the mind. No. Should not be doing according to the mind. And that is possible if we regularly chant Hare Krishna, japa, sankirtana, and hear Bhagavatam, and take prasadam, and have darshan of deities and do all the practice of sadhana bhakti every day. Every day. Nityam means every day. We have to do. Then our mind becomes pacified. Our mind becomes pacified. Our mind will not be disturbed by all the external conditions. There is so much cause for disturbance nowadays. People are in so much anxiety due to so many material calamities. But we should not be disturbed as regards doing our seva. Seva should continue. Even if somebody is sick, lie on the bed, you cannot get up, lie on the bed and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The tongue should be vibrating. It is not offense to lie down and chant if you are sick and you cannot get up. It's not offense. Important thing is, chanting should not stop. Chanting should not stop. So, the mind is required to be in proper state. That happens by regularly following these principles every day. And it is easier in the association of devotees, especially when we are neophyte. Alone it's difficult. Alone also possible, but it is difficult. But in the association of other like-minded devotees who are also practicing, who are also committed, it becomes very easy. It becomes very easy. Therefore, as far as possible, one should perform devotional service in association of devotees. Sadhu Sangha is very important aspect. So, reading from Srimadh Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18, Parikshit cursed by a Brahmana boy, verse number 46. Dharmapalo Narapatihi Dharmapalo Narapatihi Saha Tu Samrat Bruhat Shravaha Satu Samrat Bruhat Shravaha Sakshat Maha Bhagavato Sakshan Maha Bhagavato Rajarshir Haya Medhayat Rajarshir Haya Medhayat Kshut Trut Shrama Yuto Dino Kshutrut Shrama Yuto Dino Naiva Asmat Shapam Arhati Naiva Asmat Shapam Arhati Dharmapalo Narapatihi Satu Samrat Bruhat Shravaha Sakshan Maha Bhagavato Rajarshir Haya Medhayat Kshutrut Shramayuto Dino Naivasmat Chapamarhati Dharmapalo Narapatihi Satu Samrat Brihatshavaha Sakshan Maha Bhagavato Rajarshir Hayamedayat Shutrut Shramayuto Dino नैवास्मच्छापमर्हति धर्मपालो नरपतिः स तु सम्राट् बृहत्श्रवाः साक्षान् महाभागवतो राजर्षिर्हयमेधयात् क्षुत्रुश्रमयुतो दीनो नैवास्मच्छापमर्हति धर्मपालो नरपतिः स तु सम्राट् बृहत्श्रवाः साक्षान् महाभागवतो राजर्षिर्हयमेधयात् क्षुत्रुश्रमयुतो दीनो नैवास्मच्छापमर्हति. Everybody should learn to chant. Others also please lead the chanting. धर्मपालो नरपतिः स तु सम्राट् बृहत्श्रवाः साक्षान् महाभागवतो राजर्षिर्हयमेधयात् क्षुत्रुश्रमयुतो दीनो नैवास्मच्छापमर्हति धर्मपालो नरपतिः स तु सम्राट् बृहत्श्रवाः साक्षान् महाभागवतो राजर्षिर्हयमेधयात् क्षुत्रुश्रमयुतो दीनो नैवास्मच्छापमर्हति धर्मपालो नरपतिः स तु सम्राट् बृहत्श्रवाः साक्षान् महाभागवतो राजर्षिर्हयमेधयात् क्षुत्रुश्रमयुतो दीनो नैवास्मच्छापमर्हति धर्मपालो नरपतिः स तु सम्राट् बृहत्श्रवाः साक्षान् महाभागवतो राजर्षिर्हयमेधयात् क्षुत्रुश्रमयुतो दीनो नैवास्मच्छापमर्हति. Anybody else? धर्मपालो नरपतिः स तु सम्राट् बृहत्श्रवाः साक्षान् महाभागवतो राजर्षिर्हयमेधयात् क्षुत्रुश्रमयुतो दीनो नैवास्मच्छापमर्हति धर्मपालो नरपतिः स तु सम्राट् बृहत्श्रवाः साक्षान् महाभागवतो राजर्षिर्हयमेधयात् क्षुत्रुश्रमयुतो दीनो नैवास्मच्छापमर्हति. Chant, chant, chant. धर्मपालो नरपतिः स तु सम्राट् बृहत्श्रवाः साक्षान् महाभागवतो राजर्षिर्हयमेधयात् क्षुत्रुश्रमयुतो दीनो naivasmachapamarhati. Can I? Acha, Telugu will give you. Telugu Bhagavatam. Not today, another day. Can sit with Telugu Bhagavatam. No problem. Read Telugu. What is there? Dharmapalaha, the protector of religion. Narapatihi, the king. Saha, he. Tu, but. Samrat, emperor. Brihad, highly. Shravaha, celebrated. Sakshat, directly. Mahabhagavataha, the first class devotee of the Lord. Rajarishihi, saint amongst the royal order. Hayamedhayat, great performer of horse sacrifices. Kshut, hunger. Trit, thirst. Shramayutaha, tired and fatigued. Dinaha, stricken. Na, never. Eva, thus. Asmat, by us. Shapam, curse. Arhati, deserves. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. The Emperor Parikshit is a pious king. He is highly celebrated and is a first-class devotee of the personality of Godhead. He is a saint amongst royalty, and he has performed many horse sacrifices. When such a king is tired and fatigued, being stricken with hunger and thirst, he does not at all deserve to be cursed. Please repeat this translation after me. The Emperor Parikshit is a pious king. He is highly celebrated and is a first-class devotee of the personality of Godhead. He is a saint amongst royalty, and he has performed many horse sacrifices. When such a king is tired and fatigued, being stricken with hunger and thirst, he does not at all deserve to be cursed. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. After explaining the general codes relating to the royal position and asserting that the king can do no wrong and therefore is never to be condemned, the sage Shamika wanted to say something about Emperor Parikshit specifically. The specific qualification of Maharaj Parikshit is summarized herein. The king, even calculated as a king only, was most celebrated as a ruler who administered the religious principles of the royal order. In the Shastras, the duties of all castes and orders of society are prescribed. All the qualities of a Kshatriya mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, 43rd verse, were present in the person of the emperor. He was also a great devotee of the Lord and a self-realized soul. Cursing such a king when he was tired and fatigued with hunger and thirst was not at all proper. Shamika Rishi thus admitted from all sides that Maharaj Parikshit was cursed most unjustly. Although all the Brahmanas were aloof from the incident, still, for the childish action of a Brahmana boy, the whole world situation was changed. Thus, Rishi Shamika, a Brahmana, took responsibility for all deterioration of the good orders of the world. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nam Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadesh Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gauravatta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. So Shamika Rishi is explaining to his son that you have done a big mistake. You have punished the king who doesn't deserve to be cursed. Why? Because he's got very special qualifications. He is a pious king, protector of the religion, Dharmapalaha, Narapatihi. He is considered the representative of the Supreme Lord for the people in general. It's also called Naradeva, Narapati, Naresh.